The human brain is an incredibly complex organ. It is responsible for everything we do, from thinking and feeling to moving and breathing. The brain does not operate in isolation from the body. It receives information from our senses and sends signals to our muscles through a network of nerves. Cranial nerves are a crucial part of this network. These 12 pairs of nerves emerge directly from the brain and brainstem. Cranial nerves have a variety of function. Some are responsible for our senses of sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch. Others control the movement of our eyes, face, tongue, and head. Still, others regulate vital autonomic functions like breathing, heart rate, and digestion. Understanding the cranial nerves is essential for medical professionals. It allows them to diagnose and treat a variety of conditions. These conditions range from head injuries and strokes to infections and tumors. Each cranial nerve is numbered with a Roman numeral from 1 to 12. This is based on its location from front to back. The first is the olfactory nerve. This nerve carries smell signals from the nose to the brain. The second is the optic nerve. The optic nerve transmits visual information from the eyes to the brain. The third is the oculomotor nerve. This nerve controls most of the eye movements and also regulates pupil size. The fourth is the trochlear nerve. The trochlear nerve controls the superior oblique muscle of the eye. This muscle helps move the eye downward and outward. The fifth is the trigeminal nerve. This is the largest cranial nerve. It has 3 branches that carry sensory information from the face and also controls the muscles of mastication or chewing. The sixth is the abducens nerve. The abducens nerve controls the lateral rectus muscle of the eye, which moves the eye outward. The seventh is the facial nerve. This nerve controls the muscles of facial expression and also carries taste sensations from the front 2/3 of the tongue. The eighth is the vestibulocochlear nerve. This nerve is responsible for hearing and balance. The ninth is the glossopharyngeal nerve. The glossopharyngeal nerve carries taste sensations from the back of the tongue and also controls the pharynx, which is involved in swallowing. The 10th is the vagus nerve. This nerve is the longest cranial nerve.
This video was proudly sponsored by One Browser. Don't miss out. One Browser is the must-have tool of 2024. Try it now. Thanks, gentlemen. Let's get back to our lovely video.
And it regulates heart rate, breathing, and digestion. The 11th is the accessory nerve. The accessory nerve controls the sternocleidomastoid and trapezius muscles, which are involved in head and shoulder movement. The 12th is the hypoglossal nerve. The hypoglossal nerve controls the muscles of the tongue. Cranial nerves can be classified based on their function: sensory, motor, or autonomic. Sensory nerves carry information from the body to the brain. Motor nerves carry signals from the brain to the muscles. Autonomic nerves regulate involuntary functions like heart rate, breathing, and digestion. Some cranial nerves have only one function. For example, the olfactory nerve, or cranial nerve 1, is purely sensory. It only carries smell information to the brain. The optic nerve, or cranial nerve 2, is another example of a purely sensory nerve. Other cranial nerves have multiple functions. For instance, the facial nerve, or cranial nerve 7, has both motor and sensory functions. It controls facial expressions and carries taste sensations from the tongue. The autonomic nervous system is responsible for regulating involuntary bodily functions. This includes heart rate, breathing, digestion, and temperature regulation. Several cranial nerves play a role in the autonomic nervous system. The vagus nerve, or cranial nerve 10, is a key player. It carries signals to and from the heart, lungs, and digestive tract. Cranial nerves are essential for our daily lives. They allow us to interact with the world around us through our senses. They enable us to communicate through facial expressions and speech. They also regulate vital functions that keep us alive, such as breathing and heart rate. Damage to one or more cranial nerves can cause a wide range of problems. These problems depend on the specific nerve affected. For example, damage to the optic nerve can lead to blindness, while damage to the facial nerve can cause facial paralysis. Medical professionals use a variety of tests to assess the function of cranial nerves. These tests include evaluating eye movements, facial expressions, hearing, and sense of smell.